I had an unexpected opportunity to visit Yunnan in August 2024, a place I'd lived several years earlier, so I jumped on the chance to go see old friends and revisit some familiar places. And of course, go look for some snakes. And I got very lucky. Fortunately, the weather is a bit not great, but we did find a snake skin. So there are snakes around here, but the weather's not great for finding a live one at the moment.
We know for a fact they are here. Some snakes are here.
Cold and rainy isn't very good for finding snakes out on the move. But we did find some interesting insects and plants. And an Asiatic toad. You've got to love toad facial expressions. They are very common, but this one is unique, with this distinct white line down its back, and some nice patterns. It looks a bit grouchy, so we'll leave it be. Hopefully it'll stop raining tonight and we can go for a walk and be some more successful. So I'm here doing a bit of a night hike in Lijiang with my friends Lucas and Lynn. So we're just in the hills just above Lijiang, so in Yunnan, China. It's a bit of a cold night tonight, but you know, maybe we'll find something. So we've got our first herp for the night, some kind of fire-bellied toad, just down here in the grass. You can see that bright orange fire on its belly, warning predators of their poison. The poison isn't dangerous to humans, but I probably wouldn't recommend licking them. Beautiful colors. We found a few cool caterpillars and butterflies of various shapes and sizes. And some frogs. This looks like a species of odorrana. This one we had to ID. And of course, being Yunnan, there were a few cool mushrooms about. Yunnan is home to around 25% of the world's mushrooms. Rain soon forced us back down to Lijiang, but the previous days were a bit more successful. Here in Dali, hiking up the mountains behind the old town with my mate Mick. It'll be starting to get dark by the time we get to the hiking trail and see what snakes are to be found in this area. It's a bit of a climb to get up there. What have you found? A butterfly? Oh wow, that's really cool. This is Saturnia ana, a species of giant silkworm moth. It's a stunning moth, but unfortunately it was dead. Here's a pretty gnarly caterpillar. And of course, the beautiful wildflower glades of Yunnan with hidden tea plantations. Another common sight in China are these tombs scattered throughout the forests. We just made it to the top. We're pretty much bang on sunset, so timing's pretty good. Yeah. Head off along this trail through the forest for a bit once it's dark. It's almost dark now. We've just saw our first animal of the night. There was a flying squirrel, very quickly leapt off a rock face and over the edge of the cliff. So we didn't get a chance to
get a photo or a video of it, but good to see something already. So we've only gone about halfway around the trail, and then the bloody trail's closed, so we're gonna have to go back the way we came. So we've got a mammal, possibly a flying squirrel up in the tree here. Yeah, there. Awesome, it is a flying squirrel. Can you see it? So there's one flying squirrel up there, and the other one is halfway down that pine tree. Yeah, you like that. Yeah.
These look like they're probably grey-headed giant flying squirrels. And it wasn't long before we met another one. They appear to be quite common here, but typical of flying squirrels, they didn't seem to want to fly for the camera.
Why don't you fly? So we've got our first snake finally. Looks like a slug snake. Yeah, so that's Piraeus yunnanensis, I think. Yunnan slug snake. Cool, that's kind of what I was hoping to see. We've been up here for a few hours now. A couple of hours since it got dark.
Yeah.
So we're happy to finally find a snake.
These are non-venomous and feed exclusively on slugs and snails. This species appears to be endemic only to this part of Yunnan. There weren't many snails out and about, so this snake is probably out searching.
Heading down now. It's getting a bit late, and call that a success. And who knows, we might see something on the walk down. Our first frog of the walk.
This pretty little frog is a golden crossband frog, an endemic to Yunnan in the Odorrana genus. It has excellent moss camouflage. And that's it for the Dali night hike. But Kunming was very fruitful.
We'll come back to Kunming to visit some friends. Decided to go see if I can find some snakes while I'm here. So I'm going up Shishan, the West Mountains, towards the Dragon's Gate, so I can hike up and down the road and see if I can see anything on the roadside. Feeling a bit sick, my stomach's suddenly hurting, so I'm not sure how far I'll go, but it was a mission to get here and it's going to be really hard to get home, so I might as well make the most of it. I'm not feeling particularly optimistic. The weather's good though, so who knows. Hopefully we'll find something. It's been quite a walk. Pretty tired, but got a little wolf snake here on the road. Here it is. Look at that beautiful little wolf snake. It's the first snake of the trip to Yunnan so far.
Here in Kunming, this species would be Beaumet's wolf snake, Lycodon synapter.
Looks similar to the Formosan wolf snake, this one, but obviously it's not.
Snakes in the Lycodon genus are non-venomous, but their black and white stripes sometimes has them confused with the venomous krait, an excellent example of Batesian mimicry, where a harmless animal gives the appearance of something dangerous, as a mechanism for defense against predators. But this one is harmless. They just eat small frogs and lizards. Various people stopped to look, so it was a good opportunity to show them how harmless most snakes are. Anyway, great to finally find a snake. It had already been about 3 hours walking.
So I'm going to set it back off onto the side of the road here. There's not too much traffic here, but there's a few cyclists, so it'll be safer in there. That's a pretty good result so far. So we're going to walk back down the mountain, so who knows, we might find something else. The ditches like this are often good for looking for snakes, because the snakes will drop down and they can get back out, but it usually takes them a little while to actually come out, so there's a good chance of spotting one when they're when they drop down in the ditches there. Oh yeah, wow. This here is something awesome. A feae viper. This was one of the snakes I really hoped to find.
Feae vipers are special for a number of reasons. First, their geographic range puts them in locations that are not typically easy to get to, making them one of the world's more challenging vipers to find. But they're also unique among vipers. There are only 2 species in this genus, and they have their own distinct subfamily. They don't have the heat-sensing pits of pit vipers, nor the characteristic triangular heads. They're also smooth-scaled, rather than the typical rough-keeled scales of other vipers. You can really see the sheen of the scales here. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not stuck. See how snakes can climb out of these roadside ditches. It may have dropped into the ditch by accident, but it may have also chosen to hunt down there. Their venom is considered mild and lacks the blood-clotting, hemorrhagic, and necrosis-causing properties, but I certainly don't want to try it out.
Super happy. Definitely worth the hassle trying to get up here, and worth whatever hassle I have trying to get back. Yeah, worth the walk. Awesome. Alright, we'll let it go on its way. And gone. Wow, that's pretty awesome. The wolf snake was cool, but to find that viper, and such a beautiful one too, it was a really pretty one. Yeah, I'm stoked with that. So time to make my way back down. I do have to figure out how to get a taxi back into the city. Well, now's the hard part. Long walk on empty roads in the middle of the night. I think it's like after 2 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully not too long before I find a taxi.